In this video, we're going to be going over the 3 ways that we use to make our artwork that much better so that they can come out perfectly as a DTF transfer. DTF transfers have enabled you to make your designs into a reality quickly and easier. In fact, like all you need is a heat press to actually get started using DTF transfers. DTF transfers have a reputation for their feel and texture once on the t-shirt. You either love it or you hate it. And for those of you who are in the group that hate it, hopefully by the end of this video you will have some tips and tricks that you can use to make your DTF transfers feel like they're not even there on the t-shirt. All right, first and foremost, that's going to be your dots per inch, otherwise known as DPI, and the actual sizing that you are making your artwork. Guys, the number one thing that we see in our shop that is the reason why we have to reject an artwork check here is going to be the artwork resolution that the customer uploaded to our website. Most designs, they are either PNG or JPG, JPEG files, and what these images, these file types are raster images, basically meaning that they are static images. If you stretch the design so big, well, the computer only has the information that they originally had from the file, so they're going to have to fill in the blanks, and that's when you're going to start seeing that pixelation around the edges. It's going to start looking blurry, just ultimately not what you want. Now, like I said, this is because the computer only has a limited amount of data to work with. If when you were going to save your file, the design was only 6 inches wide, well, that's going to be the optimal size to print that file on a transfer is going to be 6 inches wide. So just before we move on, real quickly, if you are using PNG or JPG files to create your transfers, those can still work out great. All you need to do is when you're actually going to save the design for printing in like Canva or Photoshop or whatever, just make sure that you have the design properly sized at the, let's say, maximum size that you want it printed on the t-shirt. So say you have an order with a couple 3X's and those you might want to be 15 inches wide, well, just go ahead and size the design at 15 inches wide. Remember, you can always go smaller without any problems, but it's when you want to go bigger than the design when you saved it, that's when you're going to run into those problems. Now, if you guys are looking for a little hack, there's a group of file types called SVGs and PDFs, and what these are scalable vector images. Now, this basically allows you to size the design at whatever you want, no matter what size you had when you originally created the file. So just to give a quick example, you could save your file at 3 inches wide, but then when you actually go to print it, you can drag and resize it to 25 inches wide, for example, and the design will still look picture perfect as it was at 3 inches. No detail, no clarity will be lost. It'll still look just as good as it did when it was at its original size. Now, this works by using complex math equations to basically tell the computer what is supposed to be where, what color is supposed to be what, and that way the computer actually has the information it needs to go ahead and properly scale that design to whatever you need it to be, allowing your designs to be beautiful and any size that you need them to be. Now, tip number 2. This is going to be an easy one that a lot of people can do really quickly right now, and that's just leave blank space in your designs. Now, leaving blank space in your designs not only allows for a better hand feel, but it also allows for the design to breathe while it's actually on the t-shirt. A lot more easier and more than if it was just like a big block rectangle, something kind of like this where it's a big circle of ink. Something like that, that's going to have some trouble when you actually have the t-shirt on and it's trying to breathe. Big areas of ink like what you guys see here on my shirt now, this is actually a screen printed t-shirt, it's going to have trouble breathing no matter what. Now, some people, for what the design that they're working with, they can't leave any blank space. Maybe they do want a circle, but there is something extra that they can do to go above and beyond to actually make the design have some blank space, even if the design doesn't necessarily allow for it. And that is going to be, so you can really only use this trick if you know what color the t-shirts you're going to be putting them on are going to be. But say for example's sake, you're going to be putting them on black t-shirts and you have a design that does have some black ink in it. What you can do is use what's called Knock Me Out Black, and that will take all of the black that's in your design and basically delete it. It'll leave open, transparent areas of the design so that when you actually go and press the transfer onto the t-shirt, the t-shirt's black color will be actually coming through and making the black that you needed in the design. Not only will this look pretty cool, it'll be very vibrant as the t-shirt itself is, but it'll also lend to the breathability of the t-shirt. It'll also lend to the hand feel of the t-shirt. So depending on the design that you are working with, and if you do know the color of the t-shirt, this can be a great method to not only make your designs feel better, but also more breathable. And again, just a little tip, this is not necessarily exclusive of DTF transfers. This can be a great tip for screen print transfers, any type of heat transfer really. Leaving extra blank space in the design or knocking out colors that are like the t-shirt can be a great way to just make your designs look and feel better. In fact, if you guys actually wanted to see how your design would look, you already knocked out some of the colors, but you just want to see what it would look like on a black t-shirt, well, you can go ahead and upload your design to our website, amstransfers.com, and when you're actually in the designer, you can go ahead and select the background color of the transfer sheet, and you can make that whatever color you want. So if you are printing it on a black t-shirt, make the background black, and then you will see how your design will actually look once it's pressed on the t-shirt without having to worry about actually pressing, like finalizing your design before you know it's ready to go. Does that make sense? Now, last but not least, of course, is going to be something that a lot of people just don't want to hear, unfortunately, but it's a really big, important thing. And that's going to be making sure that you're having quality DTF transfers. Unfortunately, I've said this time and time again before, all DTF transfers are not made the same. I wish I could say they were, but the quality of the printer or supplier that you are using to buy your DTF transfers from to actually print your transfers matters a lot. No matter if you follow any of the tips that you found in this video, you're still not going to be able to overcome that hurdle of a bad DTF transfer. You could follow every single tip to a T, but if you're still, at the end of the day, getting your design printed on a subpar, low quality DTF transfer, well, nothing is going to make up for that. When done correctly, your DTF transfer design should flex, move, and just feel like it's a part of the garment. It shouldn't feel stiff. It shouldn't feel like it's a sticker on the t-shirt. It should feel really nice, really smooth. When you rub your hand over it, you might be able to tell that something's there, but at the end of the day, it just feels like it's a t-shirt. And not only the feel, but making sure that you guys are getting quality DTF transfers is going to make your designs that much more vibrant and pop on the t-shirts. One way to always tell a bad DTF transfer is if you ever see any of the white popping out from your color layers, that means that the printer that they were using was out of registration. You should basically never see any of the white underbase peeking out of there. That's a surefire, easy way to tell. Another easy way to tell is if you notice any banding or kind of graininess in your design that wasn't otherwise there in the artwork file that you uploaded. That is a telltale sign that your printer or supplier is not using quality inks, quality materials in the transfers that they're providing to you. So guys, I hope that these tips have been helpful to you. Just 3 tips that you can use to make your DTF transfers feel, look, and be that much better as a t-shirt transfer. If those of you who are interested in ordering custom DTF transfers, custom screen print transfers, feel free to look at the link in the bio or go to amstransfers.com to place your order. On our DTF transfers, we have a next business day turnaround time past 12 p.m., but if you guys order before 12 p.m. on Monday through Friday, your order will ship the same day. That is for our DTF transfers. Our screen print transfers ship in 1 to 2 business days. So if you guys need any kind of custom heat transfer, make sure you check out the link in the bio or go to amstransfers.com.